Okay, here's one that might make you happy or not.
Okay.
I don't know, but we're getting reports specifically from the Guardian here. So I'll trust it, my old place of employment, that Thomas Tuchel reportedly, doesn't trust Christian Pulisic. First of all, you don't need the Guardian to tell you that. I could have told you that already. But anyway, Tuchel reportedly...
Wait. No. I can't go any further. What coach says that publicly about a player?
Yeah, does maybe it's taken out of context.
Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That's just a crazy thing.
But maybe he meant like when they go out for a drink, like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, Christian. Like, I'm gonna leave my wallet on the table. Maybe it's that part. Maybe. It's
I thought you thought he's gonna piss in his drink. No.
By the way, Christian Pulisic would totally do that.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's crazy to think that even if you didn't like a player, that you would say something like that publicly. I don't trust this player after you've done and coached him for many years. It's one thing if maybe you had him for a year and you're feeling that way and he was kind of in and out of the lineup and he never really did what you wanted to do. And it was clearly fractious relationship.
And we've recently had issues like this, by the way. My very own club, Steven Gerrard, and he made some comments about Tyrone Mings, which whether they're directly on purpose or, taking off the cuff. We're not greatly received, saying, when Tyrone Mings is ready to look me in the eye and ready to play, it was a little bit weird.
Yeah, I saw those. That is kind of weird too.
Yeah. So to your point about Tuchel not trusting Christian Pulisic, it is strange that if he would say that.
But Tyrone Mings and Steven Gerrard feels like that Stevie G's trying something to motivate him through the press.
Yeah, there's more to it, by the way.
For sure. But that's what that one feels like. This one feels like Stevie G's relatively new with his relationship with Tyrone Mings. There's an established relationship with Tuchel and Pulisic. So trying to motivate him through the press doesn't seem like that. What I think's happening is if Tuchel doesn't really want Pulisic on the team anymore, I don't think the American owners want to sell arguably the biggest American asset in the men's side of the game unless there's some type of issue going on. And now Tuchel's creating that issue because I don't know what other motivation there could be. Now I assume it's a trust, like an on the field trust. I don't think it's him trusting him as a human being. Just like I don't trust him to defend. I don't trust him to do whatever.
I don't trust the wallet thing of the
Tuchel for me is he's
an interesting cat.
He's being such a baby right now. I mean, everybody would love to have his first world problems of being paid millions of dollars and still complaining that he doesn't have the right guys to win something.
All right, but let me say this to you, just to be the devil's advocate for a second. It didn't help Pulisic's, and this has nothing to do with Tuchel, is it? It didn't help matters that Raheem Sterling was brought into the situation. Just another player that could take off a position. So, anyway, regarding that report, now, Jimmy, your Newcastle United have also asked Chelsea to keep them informed on attacking players who could become available this month. Newcastle would consider signing Pulisic if he were available, per The Athletic. What do you think about that?
I think that it would be exciting for Newcastle. And I think he'd be a welcome addition to the team. It gives us more flexibility and diversity in our attack in terms of what we can do and what Eddie Howe can do. Now, I think Eddie Howe is really good at the defending side, getting everybody locked in and on the same page. I still wonder about how he helps the team move or what he's doing outside of just like, go make it work, guys. You're really talented in the offensive tactics. Now, I'm sure they work on stuff and passing patterns and all that, but it still feels like we could use a difference maker in the attacking third. And obviously Christian Pulisic is one of those types of players. I'm kind of bummed that it might be Miguel Almiron that might have to make way if a Pulisic does come, because I like Miggy a lot. And I've always been a big fan since his time with Atlanta United and with obviously the Paraguayan national team. So I don't want him to make room, but then you got Alonso Maximin on the other side. So, he seems like he's going to get the benefit of the doubt because he's got some sauce to his game. I guess it kind of depends. And now I feel like when you have a luxury of this type of depth, you can almost be situational. Hey, we're playing this team that maybe likes to sit behind. So Alonso Maximin doesn't have to defend as much. So we can have him out there for a longer period of time and all that type of stuff. And also Christian Pulisic can play underneath. He can play false nine. I mean, he can play a lot of different spots.
He can go anywhere. Well, the other part of this conversation is, does Pulisic want to go to Newcastle United as well? Because, right now he's in a team that's in the Champions League, competing for other things. I mean, I presume that in a World Cup here, he just wants minutes. He wants to play. He wants to get going.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you're that much of a leader for the USMNT, correct?
Yes, because I mean, imagine let's extrapolate his next 3 or 4 months headed into a World Cup. If it's similar to what's happening now, you're going to have an angry, upset, frustrated, maybe lacking confidence confidence, Christian Pulisic, versus him going to Newcastle. And yes, he's not going to be in London, which is probably a sexier location to live in, and all the fun stuff that comes with that.
Don't talk shit about Newcastle now.
I'm not, of course. I think it's a great place to live. It's just not as busy, let's say, and have the same gravitas as.
Well, it's a different, it's a completely different culture. Yeah,
but that could help him focus and just be focused on the task at hand and making sure he's sharp and ready to go. And what he'd have to buy into is the long-term project, because they're clearly adding world-class players. Bruno Guimaraes is awesome. You got Sven Botman, who's just coming in. He's going to get assimilated into the team. And it's very clear that they're building something big. And for him to be a part of that, especially at the very beginning, would be pretty cool and something I think he could be proud of at the end of the day. I don't think they're too far off of getting into Europe. But that's still a buy-in. And to your point, though, I think him getting minutes is going to be important. It's just a matter of where he wants to get those minutes and if he wants to stay in the same league, and if Chelsea want to sell him to Newcastle. I'd be thrilled. I think it would be a good opportunity, and there's a lot of positives to take away from it, from both the player and the club. And he gets out of the kind of the energy, the negative energy between him and Tuchel, or at least the perceived negative energy that's happening in the media. And it just feels like there's negative vibes around Chelsea right now for a number of reasons. And I'm curious to see how they play against Tottenham this weekend.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, Pulisic probably just needs a new canvas, just somewhere new to kind of take it down. But anyway, we will keep our eyes on that one, and whether anybody else doesn't trust Christian Pulisic. I mean, I'm going to try and do some reporting on this one. We'll see. We'll see about that. All right. Well, listen, everybody, thank you so much for being part of this show. We're going to take this home now. But Jimmy, before we say goodbye, final thoughts, buddy.
My final thoughts. I'm excited for the MLS All-Star game tonight. They're taking on the Liga MX All-Stars. It's always a fun festivity. And as someone that played in multiple All-Star games, it's a flex of the day for everybody. I like the new format. I like that we're tapping into the natural rivalry that exists between MLS and Liga MX, and to do it in a way that it'll be competitive, but fun. And I think that's a nice way to continue to build that relationship. So it should be a great game, and I hope everybody watches tonight. 100%.
I think every single year should be MLS against Liga MX.
I like that.
That's the way to promote both sides. Great stuff, Jimmy Conrad. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to follow Jimmy on Twitter, Instagram, of course. And you're on TikTok too, Jimmy? What's up with that?
I am, and I stopped. But I kind of proved concept. That's all I really wanted to do. That I can make some funny videos.
This isn't Shark Tank, Jimmy. You need to keep this going. You can't just prove concept. You're too good for this. Keep the TikTok going.
Listen, it's a different type of content, and you have to be thinking in a different way, and it's different than what I'm doing. And you know what? I should keep it going, but I only have so much time in the day, Alamy. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't have TikTok.
But there's fun ones on there for it. You guys got to watch them. There's some really funny ones that I made.
Qué Golazo has TikTok. Did you
know
way. About that? Yeah, and one of our most watched ones, in fact, the most watched one is James Bench talking Brendan Aronson. It's fun as hell, man. You got to check it out. Mauricio Romano has some good hits. And Jimmy, come on, you got to get on that. All right, everybody.
I will.
Thank you so much for being part of the show, by the way. Please take a minute to leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platforms. We're on Apple Pod, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also available, as you already know, if you're watching this live, on video. So subscribe to us on YouTube. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers.
Well deserved.
I love it. Jimmy Conrad in the hizzy, LME. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the MLS All-Stars against Liga MX All-Stars. Have a great evening, day, whatever. See you next time. Till then, bye-bye.
Hala Madrid!